Hello again. It's not often folio finds itself down on the farm, but tonight we explore the aesthetic appeal of pigs and poultry with a young Norfolk artist, Jessica Perry. That's later. We start with some remarkable music. What do you do with children of outstanding musical ability? Well, many schools, of course, have a strong music curriculum, or private lessons are a possibility. Another answer entirely is supplied by Corda, a residential music school open to children from the age of 7 upwards. I had the pleasure of watching and listening to the young players at work. Leiston Abbey, Suffolk, a national monument. In its shadow is another, a living monument to music, Corda. It's a music school for young string players of outstanding ability. Founded by Elizabeth Hewlins and Pamela Spofforth, now run as a charitable trust aided by David Stone. It all began 19 years ago.
Somebody had told us that Leiston Abbey was up for sale, furnished, and we might be able to use it. It had been a retreat house owned by the Diocesan Council of St Edmundsbury and Ipswich for about 18 years, I think. And we fell in love with it.
Not too fast on the upbeat. Ta-ta, sing through it. Pretend you're playing with a finger rather than the open string.
First and foremost, it was a case of adding something to the existing opportunities for children. It develops their individuality and their confidence, and apart from things like tone quality and intonation improve. And so we tried it as an experiment, and to, I think, unashamedly say, to try to improve the string playing in the country. They are open to any young string player. They have to have above average ability, whatever average is. They must have a love of music and a willingness to try to improve the standard that they've already arrived at.
Now just stop. Lucy, your tune, you have to sing through it, yes? Vibrato on every note, and try to distribute your bow so that it's travelling almost at the same speed throughout the phrase. Yes? You're bulging slightly, aren't you? Using a bit too much bow on various notes. Just try that tune again. That's 4/5 bar after you've started. You know where her tune is? Mm-hmm. Yes? Just on that very bit. Right. 3, 4.
The standard, because it requires audition to get in, is likely to be high.
We give them an audition. They come and play to us. They play 2 pieces of their own choice. Then we hear their scales, which are usually atrocious. And they have sight reading and oral tests.
We're a music school, and the school functions in the holidays instead of in the term time, so that we can get children from all over the country. We only have them for 2 weeks in the year, but we must have them regularly or we can't really carry out the training, progressive training, that we really intend to do.
That's made a lot of progress, I must say.
Teaching staff are recruited from the top professionals.
We've got those spots.
We have been very lucky over the last 18 years since we started to have the support of a large number of very distinguished instrumentalists from this country and from abroad.
The B flat and the F sharp comes in. That one's really something a little more special, especially from the piano there.
We select really very carefully, first of all for the sort of people they are to deal with children. And of course, obviously, the finest musicians that we can encourage, invite, persuade to come.
Corda is residential. There's music from morning till night in the company of like-minded peers. They come and stay for the love of it.
They look on it as a second home quite definitely. Quote Baroness Warnock, "The art of teaching is to develop to the full the potential of the person. If you do that, you won't pressurise them, you just encourage them."
You'd be insulted if someone called you a crammer.
Yes,
you would.
very insulted.
Very insulted.
We don't cram them.
We don't cram them.
Among an impressive list of patrons of Pro Corda is the celebrated conductor, Sir Colin Davis.
It's my private opinion that most children, maybe all, could play musical instruments if they were caught early enough and taught. But some people say that isn't true. There are one or two people who really are tone deaf. But from what I've seen of children, they like to do these things, since they haven't, and if they're given no prejudices early on, they take to whatever comes their way.
Colin Davis isn't one to lend his name lightly to a venture like this. Pro Corda has earned his support through achievement and shared beliefs.
I believe that what they're doing here is a wonderful thing for these children. And that isn't because I want all these children to be professional musicians. I think that learning a musical instrument gives you an extra vocabulary on the road of life, which is very necessary. Also gives you a private vice, if you like, private satisfaction, which actually doesn't do anyone any harm, except maybe the neighbours who don't like you to practice with the windows open.
Chamber music is the very highest form of music, and it seems a pity not to give them the chance. They love it when they get it. It's the highest sort of team playing that you can arrive at. Much better than football and things like that. And they go on to college or to be musicians, and it's always a way in to make friends with other people.
If you're learning a stringed instrument, when you reach a certain standard, the thing you want to do is to play it with other people. And you want to ransack the great literature for string quartet. That is, and it is a wonderful thing to exercise your own talent with others in a way in which you feel that you are also responsible. They have to listen to one another. They have exceedingly difficult music to play. It's technically very demanding. And they have to learn to play together. And none of those things has ever yet harmed a musician. If he can listen and play with other people, and he has a good technique, he can play anywhere he likes.
I think, you see, they're given here self-discipline. If you play in a quartet, you've got to have discipline. And also, they have confidence because they're not pressurised. It's their wish to go and play. They're sad when they don't get into the concert.
appreciated for their confidence, because I think our regular concert giving automatically at the end of every week's course, they are thrilled to be chosen. And this does something to help them get over the nervous stage of performing in public. It becomes a habit.
Thanks. Sounds great. I was just wondering if we can perhaps go back to the beginning now and work on a few passages.
It's a shame to direct people's lives so they should only be soloists, only orchestral players or only chamber music players. Music is there and one should help oneself to it.
But for those who do want to become professional, is Pro Corda one of the good ways of doing it?
Certainly it is, because then they are equipped with knowledge of a lot of music, of what musicality is about, of what it is to play together, what it is to use their ears, their fingers and their bows, and what greater training can a musician have?
We try to give them some confidence, to try to make them into reliable people, musically speaking, in the profession, apart from fairly extensive repertoire, which is above anything they could get just having their ordinary private lessons and at school, because they meet others of their same standard.
And for me, in my great old age, music is something that has to be enjoyable. You have to get drunk on it, and I haven't lost that, fortunately. And I still get the same amount of excitement when I hear music, when I study it with my children, or we painfully plod through a Haydn piano sonata with the little ones. The excitement is the same. It's a way of, it's a vision of order, if you like, if you want to, as a grown-up would put it. It's a tantalizing image of something where everything is exactly in place. It is still one of the wonders of the world, I think. People who don't know anything about J.S. Bach or Mozart or Brahms or whoever it might be are slightly less well off than those that do.
Sir Colin Davis and a wealth of wonderful music from Pro Corda. Now an artist with a preoccupation with pigs. On leaving Norwich